So we're live here with another Fearless Singer podcast episode this week, and I am interviewing the incredible Paula Hackney. Now, Paula Hackney is a really wonderful jazz singer, musician. She fronts as well as created the band Melody Graves and the Hokum Redemption, and she has now also begun a beautiful project collaborating with other jazz singers here in Mianjin with a phenomenal band, including members of the Melody Graves band as well. And she's just so inspiring. Paula, I've known Paula for so many years, but before we actually probably knew each other, people would mistaken us for each other, like walking down West End, because I used to have the little bob as well. And yeah, I took it as a massive compliment. And one day I actually met you properly in Aldi in West End for the first time.
That's right.
That's when we kind of properly crossed paths. It was a bit
had a deep conversation in the specials aisle or something.
We did, yes. So, Paula, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I've wanted to interview you for a long time, and it's all aligned now. So, yeah, thank you for being on here, and we're going to be talking about your journey, your fearless singer journey. When did you start? I remember you saying that you were born and raised in Ipswich, and you actually. Oh, well, I was born and raised in Bundaberg. It's very, very similar regional centres. And you found a record, didn't you? Tell us about that moment.
Yeah. So, always been the black sheep of the family, very musical from a young age in the school choir and everything, learning Kookaburra, Six in the Old Gum Tree, knowing that there was more, got asked to return my violin by my father because I was too noisy. And then I think when I was about 15 or 16, I was like an avid op shopper, and Ipswich op shops were great back in the day because you could find beautiful 1940s, 50s, 60s fabrics and clothes. They were just everywhere, like 50 cents for a vintage frock. And then I discovered like this cassette box set of a Billie Holiday series. And that was the start of my sort of journey into early jazz and blues. And then that kind of just led, I think played the Chet Baker album, the Chet Baker Sings album on repeat till it nearly died on an old record player. So that really, it was just by luck, by pure chance that I discovered this amazing, catchment of music, and this artist that I really connected with. The sound, I think it was. I didn't know what she was singing about, really. I was too young. I think it was the sound and the rhythm. You can't help but, some people don't like jazz or swing. They just don't get it. But, it's to me, I just, really gravitated towards the feeling of it. And
pretty exceptional for a 15-year-old to listen to early jazz music and be really captivated. Yeah. It really, I think at that stage sorry, you go. At that
I was going to say, I think at that stage I also discovered that I really was a vegetarian. So, I wasn't your typical Ipswich teenager.
I
vegetarian. She's into jazz. Oh my God. There's no hope for her.
She was born to be living in West End. This is true. But I feel like with early jazz, in particular, the sounds of Billie Holiday, it's very transportative, isn't it? So, that's I think why I was so obsessed with jazz at an early age too, because, but Bundaberg's a lovely place, but, growing up in a regional centre as an empath and a sensitive and,
as a creative,
it is, it can be a little bit harsh sometimes, but particularly back in the ages that we grew up. These sounds were really sort of took us to a new world, didn't they?
Yeah. For sure. Amazing. Maybe it was a bit of escapism. I don't know. It was just like so novel to discover something so different to my, familiar landscape. Anyway, so that was the start of it.
There was a start, but when did you get into a band? Where was it from from discovering the music to actually now collaborating with other musicians?
Yeah, so that has been a really big journey, and it kind of hasn't been a straight line. It's kind of like ping-ponged around the place. So I think I really I discovered Ella, and then somehow I discovered Bill Haley in the comments and Fats Domino, and then I moved to Brisbane when I was about 17. I lived in this great share house in Spring Hill. And then in my early 20s, I discovered rockabilly music and really got into rockabilly dancing and that whole, all that amazing music. And then, but that, still so linked to that early swing and jazz. And then I thought about, I was singing, and I had my first singing lesson with a lady called Vicky Rubin, and that's where I crossed paths with Paula Gervin. At some singing workshop in the inner city. I can't even remember where it was. It was decades ago, I won't give the year. I won't give our age away.
It was only
so I started singing then. So that would have been in the late 90s, I think. I was very young when I started. And then I had considered auditioning for the con, but chickened out, basically. So then I got accepted into the acting school at Creative Industries at QUT. And it's quite funny. I didn't like all the attention being put on me, so I moved over into the community theatre stream and studied marketing and community theatre production and a bit of performance. And then when I finished my uni, I went because I was doing swing dancing at the time, and I sort of met up with an old friend from the swing dance scene not so long ago, and she was saying, it makes sense that you're singing now, like professionally, because you always used to sing when we used to dance. I'm going, oh my God, I did. I was like busy. I'd sing along to all the music as we were dancing, and I'd be listening to the trumpet lines and matching my footwork to what the melody that the trumpet or the rhythm that the trumpet was playing and things like that. So then I ran a swing dance school for about 7 years, and then had my daughter. So I sort of was singing a little bit before then, but more kind of informally in choirs and things. I had started pulling together a quartet in the early noughties, and then once again chickened out. I don't think I really liked the attention on me, which is quite fascinating because now it's just what I do.
Chalk and cheese, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've just found that wonderful thing that comes with sharing the joy of music with people and providing that, not so much entertainment, but just more sort of sharing this amazing thing that we're involved with creating, which is this incredible music. So then I had my swing dancing school, had my daughter, and sort of started getting back into singing choirs, and then I'm a bit like this. I'll wake up usually with an idea and go, I'm going to do this. So I started, I wanted to put together this Western swing band. So that's kind of like mix of sort of Western country music and swing. And couldn't find the right players, but then found someone else. And then we started this old country band. And then that led to another band 5 years later that was doing like Western swing. And then that led to Melody Graves. So it's been quite an interesting journey. So it's always been at the forefront of where I've put my energy and how I've expressed myself creatively. But it's just sort of like had a different execution, I suppose, or different relationships. Yeah, since I was young. And now
Awesome.
it's almost like coming home. So I've come home to my box cassette set. 30 years on or whatever. Oh my God. So
it does, it sounds exactly like that. That's beautiful, Paula. And actually you mentioned a couple of things, because you're a marketing, corporate professional, and you've been building these beautiful projects on the side. And one thing I know about you, and I'm always just in awe of, is your repertoire is bloody huge.
I know.
A truck song of songs. And I always think, oh my God, like even just, and your wonderful arrangements, with the band. I always think, oh my God, how do you fit it all in? How do you do it? How do you work full time and be, working on repertoire, arrangements, building your band, your projects, and also, I think people are starting to get to understand the nature of our gig. It's not just performing; it's also trying to get people to our gigs. So it's all the the marketing and PR work that we do as well. So yeah, when do you get the? Can you talk us through your process?
It's a very long day. My process, I don't know. I just write a list and prioritize basically. But I would say I really do. My workload is probably one full-time job, and then if it's a busy performance week, then it's like a part-time job on top of that.
Absolutely.
But to be quite honest, I really, really want to find ways of doing it differently.
Yeah.
As you would know, it's like you work in the business and then, you work on the business or you work on your performance. And it would be really, really great to find a way where I'm not doing everything. I feel really inspired. I think that's probably my fuel is inspiration. And which is why I started the Fearless Singer like a couple of years ago, Mel, because I was so bored with my singing style. So, I like my voice, but I was so bored in the delivery of it. And it's been great to discover all of these, like the full, and I still haven't discovered it, but the full suite of my, vocal palette and capabilities and different ways into songs and different, ways into expressing meaning through your voice and where it sits. I think in another life I probably would have been like a music therapist, I would say.
I think you could still be a music therapist if you wanted to. Yeah, it's not too late. It's interesting, you spoke about being a Fearless Singer member, because I think a lot of people assume that if you go and get singing coaching or whatever, it's like, but aren't you a professional? You're doing it already. Yeah. You're gigging. Why do you need to? And it's like, well, I go and see somebody, from time to time as well. But it really is, it's just about investing more time and energy in yourself and hearing different people's perspectives. And, I've booked in for sessions with particular artists around Brisbane who I really admire, because there's certain things that they, that they do really well. I go, oh, how do you do that? But yeah, I love that you're part of the Fearless Singer membership, because every member brings their own energy, and it's like we all inspire each other. But I think that you said it really beautifully. You follow the inspiration. You're inspired by the music, and you prioritize. So, if you've got a big show week, or, there are songs that come up that you go, oh, I really like that. And I love that about you. You're always finding these obscure songs, which are really groovy. I'm like,
I like the quirky ones. I like the really quirky ones.
Yeah,
I just listen. It's just all the listening that you do, and then you discover something by chance, like, oh wow, what's that? Yeah.
Do you find though too? Once, and I think it's the same with most genres, but I feel like it is more so with jazz, that once you start learning songs, the process becomes quicker and easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I found like lately I've been breaking songs down, which is amazing. You just learn the little tricky bits over and over, and then, like you say, you look for the patterns in your melody line where the repeats are, and it just becomes so much easier. And you're right, like it's a lot of the songs follow the same progression, right? So your ear gets used to what you're listening for.
So you kind of can predict where the melody is going to go.
Yeah,
as well. Yeah.
But I've learned to spend more time on learning the bridges. So it's the bridge
they're not the repetitive one. You've got the A section which repeats, and B section's entirely new melody. What about lyric learning? Are you getting
lyrics learning?
Yeah.
So my process is I listen to the song on repeat.
Yeah.
I don't sing along. I just listen. I'll have the words, the lyrics. I'll find the lyrics. I'll read them. If it's a really deep song, like lyrically or narratively, I'll read you that trick where you read it out to get a different sense of meaning. So you're just like focusing on the prose, I suppose, or the poem, and getting the meaning that way. And then I will just sing it through a sound like Nas or nya 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 nya, like that. So I'm just breaking it down. This is what I'm doing now. And then, as you know, I've been working on my pitch, which seems to have fixed itself through the techniques that we've been working on. So then I'll go to the keyboard these days and just play the melody and sing it with some kind of vocal sound, and then I'll just put it all together and start actually singing. So I don't sing straight away. I don't sing the lyrics straight away anymore.
Get the melody.
Yeah, so I want to get the song into my exactly, and get the melody in my mouth, and then add the lyrics, because I just find that otherwise it's too much to think about.
Actually, I was talking to Lewis Jones just a couple of days ago. So he's a well-known Brisbane producer, but he's had a career in acting and theatre. But he was talking about the importance, even with learning script. That to find ways of getting into your body. So actors do things like he did say there was a particular method, it sounded German, that they will use different sort of hand signals,
right,
different phrases to really just to feel it in your muscle memory. Do you feel like your songs are now, you can feel them in your body when you sing? Definitely.
And that's what I was sort of say before. There's like that, that beautiful feeling when you're definitely in your artistic bubble, like you're definitely in creative flow. And I think that's the times when I feel that emotional connection to that part of the song or to the sound that you're making, which is a beautiful feeling. When you connect to your own sound. And I was watching, oh my God, I've subscribed to so many Instagrammers, like vocal coaches. It's kind of my whole feed now is just vocal stuff or pitch related exercises, which is great. That's much more productive social media.
Yeah, if you're scrolling,
right?
It's like,
no doom scrolling for me.
Yeah. Every time I scroll, I can become a better singer.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, but I was going to say, this one coach, what was she saying? Oh, I can't remember now. Sorry, it's gone. It'll come back.
It's okay. What about sort of the connection, body connection stuff?
Yeah, the body connection. Yeah. To be self-indulgent with your sound.
Oh, yes, I love that.
Yeah, to be self-indulgent. And I've been doing that more. It's been so great. It's like, ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. Like milk. I always I say milk it. Milk it.
Darling, milk.
Exactly. Actually, there was a real turning point. Well, not a turning point, but it was like it was a moment of inspiration for you when you discovered primal sounds.
Yes.
Yeah, talk us through that when you discovered belting in jazz and what that felt like and what it meant to you.
It just felt free, and I didn't feel like I was damaging my throat, my voice, or and it came quite natural because I am from Ipswich, so
And when you're doing the with the sob or the
sob, the cry, the whinge,
the
whinge, and the belt. The belt comes quite naturally.
Yeah.
Because it's at one end of the street.
I remember you saying that
rather at the other end.
I remember you saying you had a gig at Doobop, I think, and then you did a really cool little belt, and apparently the whole band just went.
Yeah.
That's oh my God. What's that?
But it's that primal stuff was amazing because it just it just makes sense, and it really, I think it makes you sound a little more authentic without sounding like you're crying all the way through a song. But, it definitely links to an emotion for sure.
I guess it also quality. It helps you access the emotions a lot quicker too. Yeah.
So I wonder if it feels or sounds more authentic. I wonder how that weighs in on the story that you're telling.
And Paula, another thing I really adore about you is like you have all these really cool reframes that I think really, because you did mention before about there was a period where you were like, oh, I just don't like the attention on me.
Yeah.
But then you reframed it to, no, I'm sharing something joyous with other people. This is something that brings me joy, and I'm sharing it. You're very good at the reframes. You know, there was another moment where you realized sort of further along on your journey, you were like, actually, yes, there is one aspect of this is for others. You know, this is a service that I'm providing. But, you know, this is also something really beautiful and nurturing and rewarding that I can have for me, you know. So talk us through that when you realized, no, hang on, this is, you know, it's about me enjoying this first and then giving the joy to others. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. I think I must have discovered this little golden nugget of advice for performers somewhere in my research a couple of years ago, because I was finding that I was starting to worry too much about what other people thought about my performance or the way I sang that song. And when you're performing, you don't want that little script running through your head, right? Because it gets in the way of you doing a great performance or authentic performance or whatever, or connecting basically. So I decided I was going to use that nugget of advice, and there was like a switch that flicked. It was amazing, actually, that I said to myself, okay, I'm just performing for me now. I'm taking the attention off the audience, and I'm going to just perform for me and do the best that I can do for me and express myself the best for me or how I want to. And that really shifted that whole performance anxiety thing. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it definitely was getting in the way. It's like, kind of looking for a little bit of thumbs up from people, but I don't need that anymore. You know, only if I'm a bit tired or sick or whatever, but, which is just like a normal kind of like camaraderie. Yeah, that was great. And then it's kind of come back around a little bit where I am performing for people, because it's been quite interesting. I feel very much more confident these days, just in a nice kind of relaxed way, I'm definitely no diva. That's for sure. I'm way too collaborative.
There's nothing wrong with being a diva.
I know, darling. There's nothing. But,
I always say,
I feel much quietly confident these days.
Yeah. Oh, good on you. I feel like it was more like that whole thing was just reclaiming a little bit of the power,
Yes,
and again, it's coming from a full place. If you're full, then it's gonna, the audience get the overspill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think you just reminded me, like, things I was saying back then was it's something like a year and a half or 2 years ago, right? That I would say, I just feel like I give away so much, and at the end of a show, there's nothing left for me. So I think I decided to keep a little bit for me, so I wouldn't be so exhausted after a show, which is hard for an extrovert. Like, I'm a full-on extrovert. It's like, rah, like I should have been on Broadway,
By the way.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm good where I am, thanks.
Yeah, okay.
I love Broadway, but, I did have my experience of singing in light opera voice, as we've shared stories of me at the Logan Civic Centre, dragging my parents along to see me sing Black Coffee and Crazy, Patsy Cline, Willie Nelson's song, in a light operatic jazz voice.
Crazy.
Anyway.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, sorry, I keep talking over you. My sincere apologies.
That's
One
right.
thing. Oh, thank you. You did mention the C word.
C?
You did say a C word, and that
What?
was
How
collaborative.
many letters?
You said you're far
It
far
wasn't
too
4 letters.
collaborative. No. Although I have I did this in the last podcast episode. I love saying that, the RuPaul. Well, you do have charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. You definitely do have those things.
love it.
But you mentioned before, it can't be a diva because I love collaboration too much. You love working with other people. And one of the new projects that you've given birth to just very recently this year is the Jazz Hive. Talk us through that. What is that about?
Yeah, well, I suppose I was inspired, by Yas Queen. I was inspired by Women in Voice, and I was very inspired by the Lady J show that Yas Queen and Paula Gervin put together. When was that? 2 years ago, or not this year's IWD, but last year's International Women's Day. Yeah, that was a really good experience. So I thought, I had a spot to fill at a venue, and I was going to do like this smoke and blues thing with the piano player. I thought, I don't have the energy for that. How am I going to get other singers involved? And then I think I did a brainstorm with myself and my whiteboard over there. And I moved on from, we could have been called the Jazz Salad, but then that moved on to, I went, no, that's too corny. Then I woke up the next day with the Jazz Hive in my brain and went, yep, that's it. That sounds like a great umbrella. So, I just really wanted to start working with other musicians, which is kind of what I've done with Melody Graves, because I've got like the quartet that does some of the Hokum Redemption songs, which is that more New Orleans-y, early 20s kind of music in a 6-piece band format. And I take some of those songs and I sort of redo them in a jazz quartet style with some lovely jazz standards, but often the obscure ones, you're right, because I wanted to have a really good sing. Like I love the 6-piece band, but sometimes it's so noisy and like it's a very, you've seen this is very like high energy performance. Sometimes we bring it down with some smoky blues. So I just really wanted to have a good sing. So I started the Melody Graves quartet thing and get other players in there, which is really nice. And then, I really wanted to work with more musicians and just see what I could do and learn more about, music theory and pulling charts together and exploring, testing myself, saying, I reckon I could do that. I think I'm ready now to play with anyone really that I want to and enjoy that process. So, the Jazz Hive is me. Yeah, I love working with lots of people. I think I really do. I like the process and I like seeing what people bring. So that's what I mean by I'm very collaborative, because I like, I could go right, be really prescriptive. This is how I want this to sound or that to sound. But all these other amazing musicians and performers that you're working with, they've got all these great ideas and this amazing musical knowledge that be a fool to not open that conversation up for them to have more involvement in what you're creating. So the Jazz Hive is it's just a celebration of early jazz music, and for me it's all about Billie Holiday. That's who I'm kind of honoring in the show, and the other vocalists have chosen some vocalists who inspire them. And then we get to work with some amazing musicians and just put this really lovely show together.
And really excitingly, you've got a show this Saturday night, so May 4th at the Brisbane Jazz Club. Yeah. What time does it kick off?
7:30.
Yeah, 7:30.
7:30. Two sets.
Yeah,
so there's
beautiful.
Myself. There's Charlotte Plain, there's Tennille West, Stephanie Larman, so we're the 4 vocalists, and backed by Paula Gervin on piano, Evan J. Evans on drums, and James Vizentian, Jimmy V on double bass, and I can never say Rebecca's last name. It's so bad. She said you won't be able to pronounce it. I'm going to have to practice very hard between now and Saturday. McCutchinson,
yeah, that's it.
Rebecca McCutchinson. There you go. It's amazing tennis.
She's amazing. So she's completely new on the scene, and Paula booked her at the beginning of the year because Jazz Hive kicked off at the Bearded Lady. Was it January or was it February?
Yeah, January.
January, yeah. Such a good night, and we were all we're all friends with Beck, and then all of a sudden she pulls out this saxophone. We're like, oh, what's it going to sound like? And then all of a sudden she's like,
amazing.
Oh my God, amazing.
I was watching back some of the videos from that show today, just looking at some of the arrangements we did. And here, her solos, the tone, so beautiful. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it's a killer
Yes.
band. Paula Gervin is just an
Mate.
absolute badass at the
I think what's
piano.
really not, yeah, I
Yeah,
know, piano
and
and tenor
Jimmy
sax.
V,
So nice.
oh, gorgeous, and and
Great
of
rhythm
course
section.
Evan Evans. Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah,
absolutely swinging and
yeah,
sizzling. And
yeah.
then you've got pretty much the best vocalists in Brisbane. I shouldn't
Some of
say
the
that
best.
actually, because some of the
There's
best.
no room.
Oh,
There's no
there's
room
actually
for
no room for
anyone
the
else.
best. I know I was going to say
No.
there's a lot of the best in Brisbane. We're so lucky. We have got like an incredible just
It's phenomenal.
cohort, or what do we call ourselves? A
Yeah,
school
group,
of
school, a
jazz
herd,
singers. A herd?
yeah, gaggle.
A gaggle of singers, jazz
Gaggle of
singers.
singers.
Yeah, we're very, very lucky. But you
I
got
know.
some of the best there. So it's going to
Yeah,
be such a bloody good night.
and I think what's really lovely is the camaraderie that comes through.
Oh,
It's so
100%.
beautiful with the vocalists
Yeah.
and like doing a couple of songs together and scat exchanges and things like that. It's really lovely. And we've been working on some harmonies, which is really nice.
Ooh, beautiful.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
remembering my harmony parts today, so that's good.
Yeah.
And so that's great as well, like to be doing that, like just singing the lead all the time, but working on harmonies, which is great. Do something different.
Good on you. No, well, that's it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just feel like, I don't know, harmonies just really lift anything. They really are like the icing or the cherry on top of something already awesome.
Yeah.
So that's really
so it's
cool.
really exciting, and it's just
I'm so
I've
excited
always been
for
a bit
you.
like that. I just go, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to start that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go, do I really have the skills at the time? You go, it's okay. I'll just
I have
make
to
it up as I
say,
go.
another amazing fearless singer, Ella Donovan, had her Blossom Dairy show last night, and which just went off. It was so beautiful from start to finish, and there was like a time last week where she's like, what am I doing? What did I sign myself up for? But we do it. You got to take the plunge, don't you? You just got to give it a go.
Yeah.
Yep. See how it all pans out.
Create your own opportunities. Like if you're inspired, you've got a vision, then just do it.
Do you have some advice for someone that maybe they know that they're musical, they know that they like to sing. They go, they sing and they go, that's a nice sound, but they just don't know where to start in terms of like how do they go about, getting a band together, say for instance. Well, any advice, or what would you advise just in general? Someone that really wants to perform.
Yeah. I suppose it depends where they are on their vocal journey. You could always start singing in a choir.
Yeah. Yep.
I think singing training is really important.
Mm-hmm.
And like people say to me, why do you get singing lessons? You sound amazing. And well, I go because I want to improve my technique. I want to make sure that I'm singing in the right way that's going to damage my voice. So I've got longevity. And then it's just good to always be reminded of things, especially if you're singing a lot. So singing lessons.
Do you think there's an element? Sorry. No, I spoke over you again.
No, that's okay. I was thinking. I think it's definitely networking. How did I do it? I don't know. I've just always been around musicians.
Well, that's the networking, isn't it?
And friends connected me. I was connected by friends. Yeah. Then I think once you start, then you're kind of in the scene. But there are those like what is it, Brisbane? There's a Brisbane bands, musicians page that people post on. I suppose it just depends on the genre.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've seen musical relationships blossom through like JMI night courses.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems that you can see it happening. Like they say when you go to uni, like that's your people, that's your network. Your year is your cohort is who you'll probably have it in and out of your musical life. Forever or a long time. I think it's just finding those communities. Yeah, and just getting in there and teamwork and just finding those groups. This is
not to
what's
do a massive plug, but you can join the Fearless Singer community
See,
as well.
this is perfect because
Yeah.
what you do, Mel, is you connect people.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I knew, oh, listen, I just want to sing, you know. Oh, I want to be in a band. I'd come and I'd have some lessons, feel confident, get my voice sorted out, do some training, come to the Fearless Singer sessions, like, you know, showcase nights, get to sing with a live band, and I've started my journey, right?
Yeah.
And then you connect people with people, and we talk to the band, and
Yeah. Well, that's. I guess. Yeah, I saw definitely a need there in terms of, you know, some of us don't have the opportunity or the capacity to go back to uni to create those networks.
Exactly.
And yeah, sometimes you just need like a little way in, like in, you know. So that's why those Fearless Singer jazz jams and the Fearless Singer showcases are there, because you are getting connected with Brisbane musicians, and then you're connecting with other singers. Yeah,
exactly. People say to me, "Do you go to JMI?" The kind of went, "No." Have you done formal training? I went, well, I've done lots and lots of training, but I haven't been to jazz school. I'd love to go to JMI, but I work full time and I have financial commitments. It's not possible for me right now. So I've chosen to go to the Jazz School of Melbourne,
oh, that's nice.
which has been great. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. And also, just a bit of a heads up. I'm going to be relaunching the Fearless Singer Jazz Club in the next couple of weeks, which Paula's done, and you'll get access to again, Paula, because you're a member. Yeah. Really so it's all going to be there as modules. So yeah, just to get again, because it's just comes back to confidence, doesn't it? Like it
really does. I was going to say that.
Knowing the songs, you know, just having a handful of songs that you know you can just pull out at a jam, you know, to get yourself started. Just those real practical, tangible things that help, and then, you know, and then that grows legs. It has momentum. You start meeting people. You start, you know, being a bit of I guess, a magnet for the opportunities. You start thinking about them, and then when the opportunities come, you can actually do something about it because you've got repertoire. It's like a year ago, Katerini and I were getting offered all these Greek gigs, and I just felt like I couldn't do it. I knew one Greek song, Millisemo. So, you know, now it's like, I'm ready, you know, that kind of thing.
Because you put the time in and you learnt them, right? See, you're asking about my time management. I think I'm getting better at saying no, and I'm getting better at going, I'm just going to park those new songs I've discovered and put them over there until I learn these songs properly. Because there's plenty of time. Like, there's so much time.
That's the other thing too, is just that belief that there's no time. It's like, reframe that, you know, because we can just, you know, we can borrow little bits and pieces of time throughout the day to learn songs or learn lyrics.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of thing.
It's just 10 minutes, just
and that's all you need. That's all you need, you know, this little regular ones. Paula, you're so inspiring to me. I'm just in awe of you. You really, the other thing too is, I just want to mention that Paula not only does all of this, but she's the band leader in all of her projects, and she is a gun at finding incredible opportunities for you and your band. So we're talking festivals. You just recently came back from a beautiful festival in Maryborough, where you popped up for the weekend. You've been booked for, you've definitely been booked for something.
The Jumps and Jazz in July in Warrington.
I just thought I'd be vague about that in case
no, that one's announced. There's a few that we're working on, but
yeah. So, you know, you really are a wonderful leader as well, and, you know, and you find incredible opportunities.
Thanks. So, but, you know, I couldn't do it on my own. So, you know, I really do acknowledge all the amazing people that I work with, like in these musical projects. Like, I'm just like the driver. I'm like the little dog at the top of the Mack truck. But, you know, sitting behind me, all these people working away and doing their thing and creating the magic, you know. Like, I'm just a little doggy on there going, right, we're heading this way. Come on.
Yeah, you're the cute doggy and you got the vision. You know, so
I've got a vision.
And no, I'm so excited.
I know. Thank you so much. I do recall how this kind of started as well. And like, I'm not knocking ukulele. I love ukulele, right? Ukulele, especially when it's played like really well, authentic and stuff. But I did picked up the ukulele about 15 years ago. I actually used to teach it at Audrey's Music Shop, adult classes. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that. No.
You did not know that? And that was like my gateway into playing guitar, like 6-string guitar. And anyway, so I had this vision. Oh, cool. So when I retire from working full-time in corporate world or whatever, I'm going to be a traveling musician with my ukulele playing at festivals as this groovy granny, which now I'll still be doing, but I won't be playing the ukulele.
No, I was going to say. I was like, that sounds like a dream. God. Have you ever seen that lady on Instagram go around? I think she plays the accordion and she has like a little dog next to her that dances.
Really?
I have to find it, but that could be you and Sebastian.
Could be. Oh my God. I don't know if that's funny or scary, Mel.
It's pretty gorgeous. It's pretty spectacular.
Cute. Yeah. Very cute.
So, okay, so let's tell everybody about Saturday again. So this Saturday, the Jazz Hive is going to be playing at the Brisbane Jazz Club. So that's 7:30. It kicks off, but get there around about 6:45. Just to get yourself a wine and sit down and have a nice dinner. It's going to be phenomenal. Paula Hackney is singing, Charlotte McLean, Tennille West and Steph Larman, and you've got a killer band led by Paula Gervin. You've got Evan Evans, James Vicenton, and also Beck, and we won't say her last name, McCutchinson. Yes, who is incredible. It's just going to be beautiful. I love that you've themed it too with the singing sensations that you're inspired by, and it's just going to be such a beautiful night of vibrant jazz and, like you said, camaraderie and you're all spectacular at banter.
Thank you. And I'm just hearing the different voices, right? That's just fascinating. All those different styles together. So cool. I
love that. So I'm going to pop the link here on the screen in the replay, but I'll pop all the links below just because this will be on Facebook. If you're watching this from Instagram, if you pop over to Melothuris at Facebook, I'll have all the links there so you can have a look. I'll also put in Melody Graves, the Hokum Redemption, all the follow links. So Instagram, Facebook. Please stay connected to Paula and her journey, because things that I reckon, I just have a big vision for you, Paula. I just know that's all.
Thanks, Mel.
It's all unfolding and it's so exciting. So please go and follow Paula. And if you're keen to join, if you're going, would like to get started on my singing journey, check out the Fearless Singer membership. So it's just www.fearlesssinger.com/membership. We meet weekly. We have a vocalizing session, a coaching session, and then once a month we have a themed class which goes longer, and you can learn anything from vocal anatomy function to singer business to learning how to chart something up. And then in the next couple of weeks, I'll be also relaunching the Fearless Singer Jazz Club, which just for this year, because we're just getting started, will be part of the membership. You'll get access to that course. So it's all happening. And if you're also, I mentioned about the primal sound singing that Paula was inspired by. I actually have a workshop this Saturday, a face-to-face workshop going through primal sound. So if you're keen to come and explore that, if you just go again onto fearlesssinger.com/programs, you can find all the information about that. But again, coming back to Paula, please get to the Jazz Club on Saturday night, 4th of May.
Lots of tickets left.
There's not many. I went on there. Don't you worry. I love data. I love seeing my friends pack places out. It's like my favorite thing. Yeah. Sometimes I just for the heck of it, if I can't come, I buy tickets to be there in spirit.
Right.
Oh, did you just see the balloons? What just happened?
Did you do that?
No. I just did this and the balloons came up.
Can you do it again?
No. That was
Magic.
very unusual. But yeah, so yeah, get to the Jazz Club and see the Jazz Hive. You won't be sorry. It's going to be such a beautiful night. And follow Paula over on Facebook, Melody Graves, Hokum Redemption, and on Instagram, because they do a regular gig at the Bearded Lady as well. So they've got their residency. That's every
fourth Sunday of the month.
Fourth Sunday. Yep. That's always a really good
in
time
August. It's our 50th show there.
Oh, yes.
So I'm going to put on a big party. We're putting on a huge party. Yeah, get some guest people. You might even be invited, Miss Lathoris.
Oh, please. Oh, please. Is it going to be a cake?
Yeah. Yes, let's have cake.
Yeah, we have to.
I'm just writing that down.
Remember when I got you help me organise Greek biscuits for a swing dancing gig and how successful that was?
Food brings people together.
I know. Food, music. So good. Oh, it's been such a bloody delight talking to you, Paula. Thanks so much for joining us this week.